Morning traders, how you guys doing today? Just getting everything set up here. Beautiful, beautiful day. It's Wednesday, hump day. Middle of the week. Actually, guys, as a reminder, Friday is no market. The market is closed Friday for Good Friday. So, short week. So, tomorrow is the last trading day of the week. So, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind for those who may or may not knew it, have known it. But yeah, this week is a short week. So Thursday, tomorrow is the final day of this week. So anyway, guys, let's get into it. See what's going on here. Got a couple stocks moving. Got ADMA. I actually watched this yesterday. So yesterday, I'm gonna tell you what happened yesterday. So I did trade yesterday. I had to leave, and I noticed something. When I usually have to leave, it's no excuses. Usually, when I know I have something to do, like right after the market, or right after like 10 o'clock or 9:30, whatever. I don't know if that's added pressure on me or what, but all I'm saying is statistically, I usually lose on a day that I know that I have some things to do right after. Maybe I'm forcing trades. But yeah, yesterday the first trade I took. I took a trade on ASUR, ASUR, and when I look back, it was a trade I shouldn't have taken. So that's totally on me. Um, I took a trade at I think 810. The price was 810. Like in this candle here, I saw it was under the VWAP, and I saw the trend. Kind of. Let's see here. I saw it kind of it didn't want to go back over it. Um, so I just took a stab at it, but I took it like 600, 700 shares, I think it was. So I took a big chance at it, and it was like 810. It went down a little bit to 790. No, I think I got in at 790. I'm sorry, I got in at 790. That's what it was. I got in here, so I took a stab at it. It didn't. It rejected here, so I said, okay, that's confidence here. And it did a fake out, bro. It went up and it stopped me out. I got out way up here like 835. Actually, like the top of this candle almost. Yeah, I got out at like 835 from 790. So I was down $250. $250 on the day yesterday. All immediately, like right after the bell. So that was very frustrating. I'm like, wow, I mean, out of all the ways to start the day. Um, After commission was like 266. So like I said, I had to leave. I left like 10 o'clock, 10:30. Um, but before I left, I actually took another stab at it because I just knew that this stock was is weak. And again, like I always explain, it had this long wick and it's proven itself and again. You're seeing it here in this video. If you look at my past video, you'll see where that was the truth again. When you see this long wick, it doesn't matter what the time frame, 10-minute, 5-minute, daily, weekly, does not matter. When you see a wick like this pop up, it's usually an indicator of the stock going to be heading down shortly after. Usually, not always. Not nothing is written in stone in this market, but a good majority of the time. So I knew it was going to go down. It's just that I got in at the wrong spot here. I had the right idea. It just didn't pan out. I did get in under the VWAP, so I'm happy about that. I had a trend going on the daily, trending pattern showing me what was going on. So I made a good one, but it just shot up so fast, and this candle here, it actually literally like my stop was at 810, so I was in at 790. My stop was 810, but when it got to like 807, it just shot up. Like it didn't give me a chance to even um, hit my mental stop. If I would have had a hard stop, maybe it would have gotten me out. But the next thing I knew, it was at like 829, and it was like 835. I'm like, oh, I just have to hit I just have to get out. I don't care how much of a loss it is, and that's the important thing, guys, is cutting your losses as quickly as you can. Even though in this case it wasn't the quickest, but cut them as quickly as you can, guys, because you can salvage yourself. You can salvage your account. You know what I mean? If you just, yeah, it's a loss. Yeah, you're taking a loss, but you have to manage that risk, and that therefore you don't get yourself so far in the hole where it's that much harder to get out. You want to make it to where it doesn't take much work to get out. So that's why you have to keep your losses small. So anyway, long story short, before I left, I think I got back in at 810. The price was 810. So before I left, I think I left about 10:45, right? So I got in somewhere around here. At the price was 810 is where I got in, and I left, and I put a hard stop on. The hard stop was at 823. It was right above the VWAP, and you know what happened? As I was leaving, um, the stock got to 822, and it never hit my stop. And so I was like, whew, it never hit my stop. It got to 822 a couple times. As you can look here on this, you see the high up here. Look at the high here. Look at it. It says 822, 822 on the next candle, 820 on the next candle. That's the high. That's as high as it went. So it never hit my stop, and then I left. And I'm not gonna even lie. When I'm gone and I know I'm in a trade, I'm checking it throughout the day. I usually try to tell myself, don't check it. Just let it do what it's gonna do, and when you come back, just be surprised at whatever you see. Man, nah, it never works out. When I leave, man, I'm logging into my brokerage ASAP. So anyway, I was checking it. I had a stop down here at 750 for a profit target at 750. I kind of I don't know if it was gonna get there now, but I just said it and I said by the time I come back, I'll just get out wherever I am. So anyway, by the time I got back, I had made 30 cents on 400 shares. I made 30 cents on 400 shares because I got out at 780 is where I got out. I think when I got back, I got back like 2 hours later. So it was there. It was like 1 o'clock when I got back, and it was down here at the 780 area. I got out. I just jumped out because that was 30 cent profit. So I made 30 cents back on that. So I made $120 on that trade. So that brought me a little bit out of the hole. So I was down 266 after commissions. Then that brought me down to like 146. And I took another trade. So I took three trades after that first losing trade. The next three that I took were winners. That was the first one. The next one, let me see. What trades did I take yesterday? Um, the trade log, everything is empty right now. Oh, because I restarted my computer. Um, Let me try to remember. So I took two more trades. They were small trades though. One trade, I think I got like 5 cents. I remember DS is one of them. This trade was. I think I took a trade. I took a stab up here for a short. I took a stab up here. It looked like it was having trouble. The trend looked like it was reversing here. As I could see, it wasn't going up at the same rate. It started to slow down. So I just took a shot, and I got in. I think at let me see here. I think it was 508. No, 507, with the stop a little above the high, like 515. So it was an 8 cent risk, but as you can see, it went down. I got out at 502 because it kind of was. It slowed down right here. So I actually the stock was at $5, but the price that I was able to get out was 502 because that was on the bid or the ask. It was on the in this case when you're short, it was on uh, the ask. You have to get out on the ask, even though the bid was $5. But anyway, I got out 502, so 5 cent gain. I think I had how many shares did I have? 700 shares. So it was like $35. So that was before commission. So that brought me down to like nearly $100 down on the day. So you see, as you can see, I was fighting myself out. I fought myself back out, but I just hate to get down like that in the first place because now all you're doing is fighting yourself back out. You know, you're not going ahead. You're just fighting out. But hey, you'd rather be getting out of the hole than going further in it. So that's one way to look at it. And then one other play, I forget the last play. I have to go look at my logs. But anyway, yep, I made a total of 4 trades yesterday. One loser, 3 winners. The first trade was a loser. The last 3 trades I was 3 consecutive. I ended the day 3 consecutive green trades. So that was that for yesterday. So I ended up down, I think, after commissions, like $100. So I fought back from 266 to down 100. So I actually made $166 after that loss. So, but see, that's why it's important to try to make your first trade a winning trade because had that been the other way around and I just made $166, that would have been that. But it's just good to be able to get back out. It's good to have that skill to get back out. But that was it for yesterday. What was everybody looking at? Everybody was looking at RNN yesterday. That was the big play that everybody had their eyes on. Everybody had their eyes on this, but I personally have traded this in the past, and it just never been a stock I really liked. It, some stocks just don't. They just don't, cooperate. They're real tricky. They don't do what you expect them to do when you compare it to other stocks. It just does. They just move in a very like this one moves in a very sticky kind of way. I don't care. It says that the float had moved down to like 8 million shares or 12 million shares after they had a split 2 days prior, but it didn't move that way. And I talked about that too in another video. I said that you sometimes you don't even go off of the float. You just go off of how the actual stock is moving. Because I've seen situations where you see a low float stock, but then look, it moves like a stock that has 100 million shares in the float because it moves so it moves like molasses, very slow. Even with a lot of volume, it gets stuck. It's sticky. But then I've seen some cases where a stock had 100 million shares, but it traded like a 1 million share float stock. It was up and down all over the place. So the moral of that story is just trade. Just watch how a stock trades, and then you base your decision on trading it based on that. Don't just look at the float. It's good to reference that definitely because most plays that are low float are gonna move more fluidly. But just trade a stock at how it's moving because like this RNN, it said it had 12 million shares. It didn't trade like that, and it had millions of shares traded, and so it should have flipped 100 times. This thing should have been all over the place. So I didn't trade it. Long story short, and as you can see anyway, it stayed in this range from like 869 to 844. Now, if you're a good scalper, that would have been a lot of good little opportunities. But I like stocks to move freely. And as you see, it just dipped down and it never recovered. So that was not ever a play for me. I never played that stock. But let's see what else is going on today. Again, guys, it's earnings season. So it is earnings season. I've been watching this NSPR, but the volume is so low. But it's holding up at this area here. This 520 area is a pretty good support level. It looks like so that's why I've been watching this stock. It has low volume. It looks like it's gonna get ready to kind of move. But watch this 520 area. As you can see, the level two has dipped down. The ask and the bid has dipped down. So just kind of keep an eye and see what it does around this 520 area. It seems like a pretty good support level. So let's just wait and see. But anyway, let's see what else is going on here. Oh yeah, again, like I said, earnings, guys. Earnings this week. Boeing, Netflix had a big earnings yesterday. That was the big hype yesterday. Um, that was the big play yesterday for anybody keeping up with the higher cap stocks. Um, yeah, Netflix. They say they have their earnings beat, but then they said it beat, but then it didn't beat. So what they mean is they have their revenue and everything was is pretty much as expected for this quarter, but they're saying the guidance, meaning for the future, their future outlook. It looks like things are gonna slow down. So they're doing good now, but they're just saying, just keep that in mind that their outlook and they're prospecting that things will slow down a little bit come later on down the year. So, but they did beat, so that's why it's all up right now. And then what that does, that pulls up the whole market. When you see big stocks like this, uh, you know, going up, then it moves the entire market because the sentiment is that the market is healthy, the market is doing good, the banks are doing good. All of these companies are doing good. So what does that mean? The economy is doing well. For people to be able to keep purchasing the Netflix subscriptions and to be paying back their loans with the banks, that's showing that the economy is very healthy. So that in turn will move the market higher. So that's what we want to see as traders. I mean, you can make money on any side of the market, but definitely to the upside for us longers, that's a good thing. All right, so right now, guys, it's nothing too much going on besides the ones that I just named, which is ADMA and NSPR is trying to get a little traction, but it only has 6,000 shares. Let me see here. MRKR, that's headed down. Let's see. RWLK, that's dead. It's been dead since yesterday. And that's pretty much it right now, guys. And like I said, it's early. So things change any minute in the market. Things can change, from 1 minute to the next. 1 minute here, you don't see anything on the scanner. Then 8:40, you'll see two or three things pop up on some good news, on FDA approvals or whatever the case may be. So that's the beauty of the market. So sometimes you just have to sit on your hands and be patient. Right now, I'm getting myself. I think I'm down after commission from yesterday. I'm down 100. So I'm gonna fight my way out of that, and then I'm gonna wait for the right opportunity to try to make two to three, $400. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm shooting for the fences. Um, I know what I'm doing, but the only thing is taking the right risk. What I'm gonna start adjusting and doing, which I've done in the past, and I know what I'm doing in that sense. Is just the scaling in of a trade as opposed to all in and all out. I'm gonna still do all out right now, or I may scale out. I'm sorry about that, but I'm gonna start implementing the scaling of a stock as opposed to all in and all out. Because had I done that yesterday, had I scaled into that play, instead of going 700 and some shares immediately and getting down like 45 cent, if I had just got in like 200 shares, that would have been $80 instead of 200 and some dollars. So that's the difference. So I'm gonna start doing that. But other than that, guys, that's about it for today. If I make a trade, do I have anything? Yeah, I have homework and stuff to do. I'm gonna kind of do that as soon as I'm done with the market. But if I have the time, I'll definitely post a video today. May even go live. We'll see. We will see, guys. Till next time. Peace.